Yeah.
In love.
Now, girl, you got me going crazy. You ain't alone, no.
Hey everyone, how's it going? It's been at least 7 months since I've posted an update. And as you can see right now, I have my crown in. So this is the actual porcelain, so it's no longer the plastic cap that I had. I'm just gonna go through all the steps and like all the other appointments that I haven't updated you guys on. Yeah, so without further ado, let's just get started because I know if I don't do this video informally, I'm probably never gonna make it. So yeah. In my last video, you can see that I had my bone graft done. Shortly after that, I had the implants placed in. It was pretty intensive, and that was when they drilled into my bone. We just kind of let that heal for the rest of the half a year. I must have had so many impressions done over the time. So in January, they fitted me with my temporary crown. That was just to see whether the shape was right, whether the color was right, seeing how my gums will form around it. I do have some footage of the chairside ceramicist who did this tooth, and she was working on it, so I'll insert that somewhere in as I'm talking about it, or maybe on the blog post. I don't know how this is gonna go. So I'm just setting this up on my crappy little makeshift tripod. I have all my points written out, so if I look down, that is why it is. Let's talk about getting the actual implant in, which is this guy. So if you can see, this is the porcelain, this is the real material, and they matched the right color, so they sent everything to the lab. Going to the appointment, they had this little oven. It basically baked my tooth, which is kind of funny, but
It's not glazed or anything.
wow.
So the porcelain, we're actually going to fire up to 730 degrees. And that's the screw, the access hole goes
Yeah.
into there, and then we'll fill that up with some material at the back. And we'll be good.
I honestly don't know if I can talk and put on eyeliner at the same time, but we're gonna try. It was definitely too bulky at first, so they had to make some adjustments and shave down a good portion of it. When we got the shape right, it was all about trying to see whether the color would match, because with teeth there's translucency and there are nuances in the teeth that makes it look more realistic. Oh, this is the character that you're adding. So this is one eye being done. So let's talk about the pain. On a scale relative to all the things that I experienced in terms of the bone graft and placing the implant, which was super invasive and very, I hate to use the word painful, but I mean, everyone's pain tolerance is very different. The only part that hurt, it just really felt like someone like pinching your skin. So the whole appointment took about 2.5 hours, I would say. Part of that is really because I really wanted this to be something that's perfect. I wanted it to look the way that I would be happy with it, and still I'm, to this day, like an hour before going to the appointment, I'm still quite nervous as to if this is exactly what I want, because I know no tooth that's man-made is going to be as perfect as one that you grew yourself, but I paid a lot for this, so I really wanted it to be done right. Sorry, my eyeliner is drying out. And then they tried putting on the spray-on freeze like anesthetic so that it would be better, but I don't think it really did a whole lot. So if you don't have a high pain tolerance, you can just let your prosthodontist know so that they can make you comfortable the first time around. But just expect that there is some sort of discomfort because, you know, this is a very tender area. I'm gonna have to redo this. And I'm back, and this is what my eyeliner looks like. That was really the whole bulk of the appointment. It was just mentally exhausting. That's the only way I would put it. Other than that, it wasn't like as bad as my bone graft, because that, if you can, or I'm gonna link the vlog above, and you can definitely see that my face was super swollen and everything. But after this, I was able to go and have dinner with my friends, so it was totally fine. It's not like you need to take a lot of time to rest. Now, the most significant thing I can tell you about having my tooth in finally is that I don't have to take off my retainer and eat. Like, I can just literally chew stuff, drink stuff whenever I want, like this. It's crazy how often that we take things for granted, like small things like this. Before, it used to make me really self-conscious because I would go out for dinner and then I would meet a friend, and you know, the first thing is, oh, I'm sorry, I have to take this tooth out. It just makes you really vulnerable, you know, when you have to present yourself in not the best light, I guess. Like first impression. Just gonna dab on some lipstick. This is Revlon's Black Cherry. Some days I just kind of alternate different lipstick colors, but they're all generally around the same color family. So that's one half of my lips done, and you can tell it's already giving me so much more life, which I look kind of dead without eyeliner and lipstick. I know it's probably focusing on this cactus in the back and not on my face. How dare you, Google Pixel? Yeah, so that is what it looks like. Dabbing it just makes it really wearable. Because I have bangs, there really isn't a whole point in putting on eyebrows, but I'm gonna do it for this video. When I had my temporary crown in, I was wearing this guy and this guy, but at night only. So it was super nice to just like get into the food and just eat whatever I want, drink whatever I want. Maybe that's also why my teeth are so dirty because I've been drinking so much coffee. But now I just wear this at night because this is the only thing that fits, and there really wasn't a point for them to make me another retainer at the top because it's coming back in 2 weeks. So today I guess we're gonna figure that out. I don't have any wire at the back of my teeth because I knew that things were getting adjusted, and there was really no point in putting something so permanent where there's so many changes being made. I mean, I can still feel a little bit of my teeth shifting every now and then. I haven't scheduled another appointment with my orthodontist, but I really should, and when I do, I guess I'll figure out what we're gonna do with the retainer situation, if I still need to wear it, and all of that good stuff. I'm like, I can't multitask and talk, so I just start by mixing like the two colors together, dab off some excess, and then I just kind of go in to the ends. Anyways, my friends were asking me, how does it feel to have a tooth in? Emotionally, amazing, because it does a lot for my self-esteem. You know, as a kid, you're awkward and you have like this kind of problem, I guess. You're so much more aware of it than other people are, but it impacts how you would carry yourself. Like, I would never smile or laugh without putting my hand over my mouth. I would always be like and I know people just think like, oh, why are you doing that? But I was just so self-conscious, and now I feel a little bit better about myself, so that's a good thing. You know, I'm still having doubts about whether this is the exact tooth I want. Like, from far you really can't tell. What made it more detail oriented is because my gap here is a millimeter bigger than my actual tooth, so I think if I don't say that, no one would really know but myself. Because of this, there are certain ways that they have to shape the tooth to make it look as if it was the right size, and there was no point in going back into braces because that would just like shift everything, and I would get gaps in here and other places, and it'll cost like another $1,500, which I do not have to chase this perfection with, which is, you know, something that I just have to let go. Like, I haven't been thinking about it too much in the last 2 weeks, whether I'm happy with the results, because I mean, people haven't been noticing anything bad, and everyone's like, oh, you look great, blah blah blah. So it's really just my own self. Once this is done, we're not gonna touch it again, and this is gonna be the thing that I'm living with for the rest of my life. So, you know, that was such a long tangent, but in terms of how it feels physically, when I first had my temporary crown in, which is the plastic one, I was like, oh, this is so weird. I don't know how to smile with it. Like, but I think that's also with braces. Like, if you have braces or have been in braces, you know how strange it is for your lips to adjust it the first time. But then over time, you don't notice that it's there. It was kind of like, oh, I have this weird block that's like in the middle. That tooth has no nerves. So whenever you're drinking something cold or hot or whatever, or like honestly just trying to sense anything, your other teeth feels it, but this one tooth doesn't. So that's just the main difference. Another question that my friends had was, what does my family and friends think about this? It's funny because I haven't really made it that big of a deal. I used to be like, oh, I got my braces off, or it's been like half a year since I've been in braces, and look at these progress photos, and share all these things from my blog. But now I don't do it as much because it just has become a daily part of my life, and it's not something that I notice so drastically. So my mom doesn't really know. She just knows that I had the tooth in, and I mean, she has also been quite iffy about the whole thing to begin with, but I think she can see how I'm spending a lot of money, yes, but how different I look now and how confident I am feeling most of the time. So she knows it's been good for me. And my friends, they have been super supportive, so I'm just really lucky to have really great friends. I mean, in the beginning they'd be like, oh, how's it going with your teeth and all that stuff. Now that like the momentum has slowed down, I don't know, the other retainer that I had a tooth in it. Before, when I would smile, I'd have this wire in my mouth. So you can see that in my last video thumbnail, but because I don't have a retainer on at all, it just is more, I think that's one lesson that I need to take away from this and apply it to all my life, is that it's okay if there are some things that aren't perfect in life, because nothing is perfect. And overall, I guess we're just gonna see how my gums grow in. Right now you can see a little bit, like it's kind of high up, like there's a bit of a bevel. Hopefully over time things will change. That is basically the update, and I hope that you guys have learned something from this process with me just rambling. Yeah, and if you have any questions, let me know. If you have the same experience, I would love to hear it, because posting my last video, I had no idea I was gonna get 9,000 views. Like, who really looks at like a braces cleaning routine? It's just kind of funny. I also had a lot of people tell me that they didn't know they needed to clean their retainer. That's also why people's breath can sometimes smell, so do it. Clean your retainer, take that extra 5 minutes, because it will make the health of your teeth and your gums a lot better. I'm gonna go because I'm probably really late. I'll update you guys later and see you in a bit. Thank you for watching, and bye. Yeah.